Welcome to Chrisley Confessions 2.0. I'm so excited today because I really have never had anyone really famous or more famous than me on the show. But today we have the one, the only, one of the loves of my life, Kandi Burrus. Welcome.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
We are so happy you're here.
This is so
all
cool.
the way to Nashville. You drove all the way to Nashville to be here.
Oh, for sure. Because, I knew I wanted to link up with you.
Right.
But honestly, I also love Nashville.
Right.
It's great restaurants. It's just a cool town.
It's a cool town. It's a cool town.
It is.
So how have you been doing?
I've been doing really good. Yeah. Living my best life, really.
Clearly,
Traveling
because
a lot.
even in prison, when I'd be like surfing, things I shouldn't be surfing, I would keep track of you and all the things that you were doing and all the awards that you win. You've been Broadway. You did a play on Broadway.
Now, let's hold up. We can't just say you did a play on Broadway. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So I just happened to find a little something here. Not just Broadway. Highest grossing black female producer on Broadway.
My friend.
Congratulations.
My friend.
Listen. She's bringing down Denzel.
Denzel,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
that was amazing.
Those are big names. Those are the biggest, some of the biggest names.
It's been amazing. That was my fourth time producing a show on Broadway, and Othello. We actually broke records while the show was running. Like the highest grossing week in history of Broadway or something like that.
My friend.
So this has been a really above and beyond amazing journey. You know what I mean?
But you have gone from not just being an amazing recording artist, but actress. You're an actress.
We can kind of scan the gamut. You're talking actor, producer, Broadway producer, television star. It just keeps going on and on and on, And
I started in music.
Absolutely.
Right.
And what, your
93.
first hit was 92, 93?
93 was our first song. Just Kicking It dropped in 93, an album.
And we have been in television as well.
And in prison.
But...
Y'all got me beat.
The career that you have and continue to have and the longevity is something that is just, it's unheard of today. When you start talking about, my first hit, 1993, I was just getting out of high school. And you were just a baby.
Well, I was still in high school too.
Right.
I graduated in 94. But it was pretty cool to still be in high school and having a hit song on the radio. My group Xscape, that was our first album that came out. So we dropped our single Just Kicking It the summer before my senior year. And it was so crazy because you know how you can speak, you always say you want to speak things into existence or you write it down and make it plain, know? So I used to pray about it every single night because we started when I was in the 9th grade and I used to pray, God, please give us a record deal and let us have a hit song before I graduate. I used to pray that every day. And for it to happen that way is just amazing.
And now to still be on tour.
Yes. Yes. We just had a show this past weekend.
I know. Which is just, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Thank goodness, they say like the news, everything's cyclical. Everything comes back around. I don't feel like you've ever had to come back around because you've never left.
Well, you know what? People say that, but honestly, I feel like just like everybody else, I've had a roller coaster career. When our group, we were doing great. We had 3 platinum albums, but then we started really falling out with each other in the process of doing the 3rd album. So after that, I was kind of unsure where my career was going to go. Like as we were recording the 3rd album, I'm like, okay, I know we're breaking up after this album. So what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills?
Right.
And so then I started writing songs and that took off and that just made me feel like, if you've never been in a group, I don't know how,
I was in a group one time, when I was like 19, but that was in the bedroom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later. Tell me more. No, but what I mean is like, being in a singing group, it's like, especially when you start out that way, you kind of feel like, okay, you don't really know success outside of that. So when that falls apart, you kind of like scared, like, well, what am I going to do?
Because it's what you know.
Yeah. And then I see all these other artists that are like, because I guess if, me being still in high school, that's considered a child star, right?
Yeah.
And then you see so many child stars grow up to be broke.
Right.
So I was like, oh God, please help me. Like, you got to help me figure this out. And I'm just glad that I've been able to continue to reinvent myself, and continue to switch things up and find success in other areas.
Well, do you think that the reason that you are so capable of reinventing yourself is it's because you are constantly striving to be better or to do something different?
Oh, for sure. I think that's what it's all about, right? We gotta try everything that you have a love for. You should try it.
Absolutely.
That's just how I look at it, and I just feel like it's worked for me. Just genuinely doing what I love
and being you.
Yeah.
Being authentically you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you've had the songwriting, the performing, you've had television, you've had Broadway, you've had movies, you've had. What is your passion? What of those things? If somebody said to you, which I am now, what fulfilled you the most?
Being friends with me.
Other than that, and I'm not talking about a marriage, not talking about kids, but you.
Well, it goes back and forth. Like, I think I truly love creating. So whatever that may be, whether that's creating songs, and, like I love writing songs and hearing the outcome or whatever.
Right.
Or, creating new projects, whether it's putting together the, stage play or, or TV shows, It's like, I like the ideas, seeing it come to life. Seeing things come together.
Such a blessing to be able to do that, because I don't know about you, but I know we've been in the position that sometimes the things that really feed your soul are not what feeds your pocketbook. So you get stuck in this grounds of, okay, I don't really want to do that, but it's a great means to an end. So to be able to feel like you can do what feeds your soul and be successful at it, I mean, it's such a blessing.
That's true too. I think also, and let's, being real, like doing reality TV, I think the reality TV that I was a part of is totally different than what you guys do, because y'all have more control.
Yeah.
The reality show that I was a part of forever, Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have no control in that. And it's always, I don't want to say I'm a control freak, but it always stresses me out when I'm in a situation where I have no say-so, like no control. I'm just in it.
And when you know where this is heading.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a mess. I know it's going to be a constant battle or argue, you know what I mean? So, but at the same time,
it was a means to an end.
We was making some good money.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
That's it.
And then I found myself doing that to the point where I felt like I wasn't going to the studio as much anymore. I wasn't, not that, because now mind you, I've made great money writing songs.
Right.
But you have to be in a creative space. You have to want to, be
You got to be in the mood for that.
Right. It's like, I got to the point where, like, I don't even want to go to the studio. I just want to chill the few times that I had time to myself.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like,
because people don't realize it is a full-time job. I can remember early on when Chase and Savannah, when we started filming, and especially when we got to, 26 episodes a season, and we were doing a season and a half in a calendar year. And, people on social media would be like, well, these kids don't even have a job. Like, they don't even have a job. And I think people don't realize it is a full-time job.
Right.
I mean,
that is so true. I mean, just like you, well, Housewives, at RHOA, at one point we were doing 20-something episodes, but then I also would be doing another show in the same calendar year.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing double
We
shows.
did Chrisley Knows Best, 26 episodes a season, then was down 2 weeks and jumped over to Growing Up Chrisley.
Yeah.
For 10 episodes.
Yeah, so for me, it would be Kandi and Todd's wedding, the Xscape show. It would be, whether the Kandi Goes ski trip.
Yeah.
It was so many other Kandi Factory, like you said, Old Lady Gang, Kandi and the Gang, excuse me. It was a lot of other shows happening every single year. So a lot of times I went back to back nonstop.
Yep, I know.
Filming, and that can be stressful.
It's stressful, and it's also, for me, it was emotionally draining at times because you're sitting here fighting with other women that when you leave, they're going to their home, you're coming to yours. I'm sitting here sometimes fighting with kids that are still in my home.
And I totally agree, because like that's how I felt when we did Kandi and Todd's wedding, or even that Old Lady Gang show. It's like people don't understand when you having family arguments in this room. It's still happening when the camera's on.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like we're still going at it all off season.
Exactly. There is no off season because this shit keeps going and going and going.
Right. So,
well, people have asked me, and I'm like, yes, the show, there were so many blessings to come from it. But also, imagine you as a person going to work every day with your spouse, with your kids, with your young kids, your adult kids, your mother-in-law. That's every day, whereas other people out here, you have a fight with your husband. I'm going to work. He's going to work. We got 8 hours till we have to reconvene and cool off. You don't have that. People don't realize that.
Right.
That it's a lot.
And then we have to go through it 3 times. You go through it when you film, you go through it at reunion, and then you go through it when the people see it and it airs on TV.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just kind of like you keep reopening the wound. And
the thing about it is that, our show aired on USA, then the rerun was on E the following night, and then it went to Bravo. Our stuff it was on all the time. So it's not like you could have a situation and it end and you fix it, but it had to, it kept replaying.
It was on all the time. I was in prison and people would be like, Julie, come in the TV room, you're on, and I'm like, oh my God.
And they want you to watch it.
They want me to watch it. Come here, let's watch this.
We live that. We live that.
Yeah.
So I was so happy to get my box of Just Thrive in the mail. So many people have issues with their gut health, and we all know that our health is most important. Life moves fast. You're juggling work, family, goals, and trying to show up as your best self every day. But if your gut health is off, everything's off. Not just your digestion either, but your mood, your energy, your focus. It all starts in your gut. That's why we love Just Thrive Probiotic. Most probiotics never make it to your gut alive, but Just Thrive is clinically proven to arrive in your gut 100% alive and actually work. For you, that means less bloat, healthy immunity, and that steady feel-good energy all day long. So here's our challenge. Just Thrive for 90 days, risk-free. Feel the difference in your digestion, your energy, your sleep, your whole world. If you don't, get a full product refund, no questions asked. Go to justthrivehealth.com/confessions to save 20%. Take the 90-day Just Thrive challenge today, because when your gut thrives, you thrive. That's justthrivehealth.com/confessions.
So how does it feel now that Riley is on a very popular show?
Oh my gosh. So it's like a little bit more stressful because, it's my baby.
Right.
So my thoughts are, I'm obviously more protective.
Right.
And it's like bothering me when she gets upset because of comments that are online or anything like that. Or, she always calls me, Mom, this happened. And then it's like you almost, sometimes if I do feel like she's wrong, then she's looking at me. Why? You're supposed to have my back. So I can't disagree with you because you're going to get in your feelings.
Right.
It's just
But I do love, you said not too long ago, I'm going to always have her back.
Oh, for sure.
I loved that. I think it was a post, I don't know, a post story, whatever, but you said, no, I'm going to always protect my child. I'm going to always be there for my child.
No matter what.
Doesn't matter.
And I told her that before she started filming. I was like, hey, just go in there and genuinely be you, okay? And if you do something or say something that is crazy or whatever, just own it. Just don't let them rewind the tape on you, okay? Just say that you was lying.
That's it.
Just own whatever you said. If you later on you feel like you was wrong, you can always apologize. If you don't, fine. And I'm gonna rock with you either way.
That's it.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what you do.
That's right.
You still my child, and we still gonna.
That's it. But that used to always, because I didn't watch the Housewives. Julie,
I did.
Julie watched them. She was a loyal, viewer. But I would watch some of it and I would hear the trash talking. And then you come out to this reunion show acting like you're brand new and never said shit, knowing that they're going to out you with these clips.
That's what I never understood, why people just sit up and lie all the time on the show. Because I'm like,
because some people don't.
You said this on tape, right?
Right.
I have found that when people lie like that, the reason that they ride that till the wheels come off is because they believe their own bullshit.
Well, that, and then some people feel like that the edit, they can control the edit.
Yeah.
Meaning, I've seen situations where, say for instance, people will do something and they know it's whack and they know they don't want people to talk. So they'll refuse to talk about it in scene, thinking that because they didn't give them any more.
They don't have enough to work with.
They don't have enough to work with, so they're not going to use it.
It's TV, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
They know how to be creative.
Yeah.
But really, Riley has the best teacher. Not even teacher. We're talking about professor, because you did just that. I mean, you owned your stuff. When you did Housewives, you owned it. Those reunions, you owned it. And I loved that. Like, I love that.
She would come and say to me, she'd say, have you been online? And I said, for what? Because I don't go online. And I said, for what? And she goes, they were hard on Kandi yesterday.
But this is my thing. You were unaffected.
And
you were so unaffected.
But you were not
and
unaffected.
I love that. But to them you were, and to the camera you were, and unfortunately in this world of reality, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about me is I'm a true Taurus, bullheaded. And if I feel like I'm right, I don't care. You can have 1 million people tell me I'm wrong. If I know what I know, I don't care what you say.
That's it.
It does not matter. And then, I got a lot of family. So if nobody wants to talk to me, I got family.
Right.
That's it.
And I got long-lasting friends.
You always looked at it as a job. You always knew it was a job. And I think you were able to connect when you needed to connect, but you were able to step back.
I think at the beginning I did try to genuinely make friends on the show. I did,
Yeah.
And then some of those friendships really came back to bite me later.
Well, again, and I say this to our children, I just had this conversation with one of my kids yesterday. Friends, or a friendship, is about so many layers in life.
Yeah.
It's a friend should be there with you at the very high and the very low.
True.
If it's a true friend, they're going to ride with you in the good and the bad, whether it's a cab or a limo, they're going to ride with you.
I agree.
Yep.
And, being in this industry and the money that's made and the money that's thrown at these young kids, there's a lot of hanger-ons. And, my kids have been a victim to that.
Yeah.
And they have such a giving heart that when this person doesn't have, they give it.
Yeah.
But what happens is that this person that you just gave it to, now you've said to them, I can do this. So they don't have a problem asking you again and again and again.
Yeah, you don't want to leech.
No, I don't have that.
No, and you can, and as I've said to the kids, you can't expect people to have your heart.
That's
it.
true.
The same heart and intentions that you have, you can't expect everybody else to have that, because they just don't.
Yeah.
And especially in this world, they don't.
And being a friend, you're supposed to bring joy in your friendship.
True.
I understand that not every day is going to be a holiday, but you should, when you call your friend, hey, how are you? What's going on?
Yeah.
I just wanted to check in with you. Before you start saying, hey, oh my God, I got to tell you what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
Ask about their life first.
Yeah.
To know if they're in a place to receive the shit you're getting ready to dump on.
Right.
And, a lot of people don't do that. And, I wanted to get on this, and the friendship thing segued into it. You took a lot of heat about our pardon.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for you. And I went to Julie and I said, my heart actually breaks for her, because she just will not bend on what her convictions are.
No.
And I said, so she's going to have to ride this wave right now.
And I mean, and to your point, I feel like a true friend, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's right.
And you and I go way back. I don't even know if you remember when we first met.
I'm not good with dates.
2014, y'all.
Oh my God.
No, 2014. I still got the picture. We met at Upfronts.
Okay.
Years ago.
Yes.
And we kept in touch after that. And, you know, like even when I would come back here to do concerts, you came to my shows and stuff like that. So I always enjoyed talking to you. We always had a great friendship.
Yes.
Even when you were going through what you were going through.
You and I were constantly communicating.
Yeah, we were constantly communicating. And I even sent a letter
to the judge.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so people don't understand that we actually have a friendship.
That's right.
And so my thing is, people always try to make it about race, or they make it about political affiliation or whatever. That we don't have to have the same political affiliation. We don't have to be the same race.
That's right.
If I'm your friend, I'm your friend.
That's it.
And, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm supposed to have your back, right? Meaning I don't necessarily have to know the details of whatever was going on. It's like at the end of the day, I want what's best for you.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you
that
came
has
home,
nothing to do
with
like you
anything
said,
else.
with politics, with race, nothing.
So when you came home, I was excited.
Right.
And I definitely put in the comments, yay, congratulations, because I'm excited. And I'm not going to let anybody make me feel bad for
Right.
Right.
Well,
Simple as that. I'm not going to let anybody make me feel bad, because my friend that we've been kicking it since 2014, you're not going to make me feel bad for that.
Right. No, and you know, but I felt bad because I love you so much.
I know, you reached out to me.
And I said to Julie, I said, my heart breaks for her because I don't want my friends to ever be in a position to have to defend me. Yeah. Because I don't want to bring that burden into the friendship. I want to bring joy into your life. I want you to know that you have a comfort in knowing that if you tell me something, it starts and stops there. That if you are in need and I have it, I'm going to give it to you. That's the kind of friend I want to be. But my friendships have never been based on color. And the sad part about it is that I've had to learn a lot in the last 28 months. But the thing that we never really had was our kids were never, race was never an issue for us. Right. My mother, who is 81 years old in September, my best friend was a black girl that I went to school with, Sonia Jenkins, my whole life, still is to this day.
I can see it in your attitude, Chuck.
You know, still to this day, my mother never said in a small rural country town that I grew up in, my mother's never said, you can't be friends with her.
Right.
Never. We never had that.
Yeah, every family doesn't, base things on, what some people in the world like to separate people for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to separate us for so many different things. And but everybody didn't grow up with a family that encouraged separating.
No, we didn't. Neither one of us did.
Right. And my best friend in this world is a black woman who does not share my same political views.
Amen.
Now, I trust her with my life.
With our
trust
children.
her with my children.
Yeah.
If I needed something, she is there.
Yeah.
And if she needs something, I'm there.
And she was there at that visitation when you were there too.
She visited me in prison. She came to court for me.
All the way from Atlanta.
And she and I have been friends for 20 years. We were pregnant with Grayson and her daughter at the same time. We met. So they are 19 years old. So you might as well say a 20-year friendship. So has nothing to do with any of that, and it's so sad that it causes people love to find joy in the division. They love to find comfort in a division that just doesn't have to be there. Yeah. Like I said, my very best friend, we don't share the same political views, but she was there to support me in court. Right. Had nothing to do with my political views. She was happy when I came home from prison. She don't give a shit who got me there.
Yes, exactly.
It's just the fact that I got there.
Right, and that is how I felt. I felt like, okay, so politics played its part in getting you home. Okay, but that had nothing to do why I'm excited about you being home.
Exactly.
I'm just excited that you home.
Exactly.
That's it.
Again, watching that, reading some of the comments and stuff, and knowing that you were taking that heat, I said, I've never wanted to cause that for anyone. And Judy says, Todd, if anyone can handle it, Kandi can.
Yeah.
That's what she says. She says, if anyone can handle it, Kandi can. And so I think that for me, when you talk about the political aspect of it, I am very socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Mm-hmm. But my love for you is not governed by who's in the White House.
Thank you.
My love for you is not governed by who is in Congress or in Senate or town council or whatever. Mm-hmm. I love you because of the woman that you are. I don't even think about, oh, well, she's a black woman and I'm a white man. I don't think about that. Right. And my kids don't think like that. And I'm grateful to God that we don't. But I also believe that I believe that our country is not as divided as what people want us to think. Yeah. I believe that we all want good for people, that we all want, humane conditions for people, that we should all want to help our brothers and sisters when they're down. We should try to elevate them, not to stomp them and kick them and keep them down. Right. Because if I'm doing great and you're struggling, my greatest accomplishment is to help you to where you're not struggling, so that you can help the person behind you that's coming up.
Right. That's right.
And I've tried to do that. No one can ever say that I've not done that.
Right.
But I think for me that friendship means something to me.
It means something to me too.
Clearly.
It means something to me, and I feel like friends are supposed to show up for each other.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's
right. And it doesn't mean you got to speak every day. It doesn't mean you got to text every day. But a true friendship is being able to pick up after 28 months. I'm glad you're home. I'm so glad to see that you are a success out of this world. And continue right on.
Yeah.
And when you sent me the message, Todd, what's the chances of you coming on my podcast?
Yeah.
I had literally turned down how many that week?
Well, Aaron knows quite a few.
All these requests was, we want Todd on our podcast. Can he come on? And I had said no to everything. Mm-hmm. And you sent that message, and I was laying in bed with Julie and we're watching TV, and you said, what's the odds of me getting you on my podcast? And I said, for you, they're pretty high.
Yeah, you do.
Because I had turned down everything else. Mm-hmm. And it was a safe place for me with you. And it was like coming home to that friendship and to someone that had stood the test of time. Mm-hmm. And so the odds were great that was happening.
I read many, many things when I'm in prison. So it's true what they say. You just read all the time and do whatever. And that's what you do.
Well, there's other things you can do.
Well, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, Kandi. So
what was you doing?
I was reading a lot.
I was being a thug.
A thug.
But I read something, that, at the end of your life, and I say this to my kids all the time, nobody's going to care who you voted for. Nobody's going to care what color your skin is. Nobody's going to care what kind of bag you're carrying. Mm-mm. But it is how you make people feel. It's the impression that you leave on someone else's life that you don't even know that you've left.
That's true.
And I try to preach that into my kids all the time, because after being in prison for 28 months, we were able to see the brokenness of just people.
Yes.
And
the disparity, which we'll get into.
And just so even more so, that when I walked out of those doors, I wanted people to know, well, she gave me something good. She left me with something. I'm better than I was before I knew her. Mm-hmm. And to me, that is what being the ultimate friend is.
Amen.
Yeah. That you made someone's life a little bit better. Yeah. Because listen, this life's a shit show. I mean, it really is.
And we have starred in it for 28 months.
That is.
Yeah.
I just can't see you in jail. I'm sorry.
Me? Neither one of y'all. I did.
I ran my block.
Kandi, I'm gonna tell you.
He'll talk about he ran his block.
I ran my block.
I'm gonna tell you.
And you're gonna see that on my new show called The Todd Father.
Oh,
with
my
all
God.
of these inmates that are now out.
You are hilarious.
Kandi, I did hard time. I adhered to the rules. Now, keep in mind, I was in a place where there was no air conditioning.
I forced them to have air.
No.
You are
in a camp.
No, because we were in a camp.
Oh, you were in a camp.
Yeah.
You need to understand.
We was in like some busted inner city school camp or something.
Wait, did they have you picking up trash on the side of the road?
No.
What?
Bitch, I went there to do
That's
time,
state
not
prison.
chores.
That's state
what they
prison.
do at the camp. The
That's
people
like
that
state.
you know,
That's like state
That's
prison.
state. That's not federal.
Yeah, that's like state.
We
state jails.
we are white collar, high dollar
y'all
people.
was in-
Nah,
We
but
went
it
to
wasn't.
federal.
That's not true. But I did work. He didn't.
I refused.
What type of work did you do?
I worked in the commissary because I wanted to make sure I could order like my shampoo and body wash and makeup.
I had
Did
my
you learn
stuff-
how to
Hair
make
dye.
the gel makeup?
No, we could get makeup.
Yeah, I had all my stuff brought in.
I mean,
from
it
Walmart.
wasn't, it wasn't MAC, but we could get the CoverGirl, the Maybelline, the Wet n Wild.
Okay, so you still was cute in there.
So we went back to the Wet n Well. I don't know about that because I couldn't bleach my hair, so that was a whole nother situation.
Oh.
But there was, girl. If I told you what, you would walk down the hall and somebody would have on fake lashes, fake hair. There was more weave.
All right, did anybody ever hit on you?
No, hit on me?
Yeah.
No, they really didn't.
I always
No.
wondered.
Okay, let's be
wasn't-
for real.
I always
Okay.
wondered if she was pulling pockets up in there.
No, but I'm saying you were supposed to be in there for 7 years originally, right?
Yes.
And you were supposed to be in there for 12. That's
Yes.
a long time because when that happened, I was like, what? I was
Yeah.
scared for
Right.
y'all.
No, it really wasn't. I think
You was ready to go the whole 7 years, the whole 12 years with nothing?
absolutely. Never crossed my mind.
Never crossed
Never
your
crossed
mind.
Never crossed my mind. I can say that. It never crossed my mind. And I think people, because of the show, they had this, she's everybody's mom. She's the mom. She's the mom from the show. So it played to my advantage because, the girls felt like I was their mom in there.
Okay.
I was, they were on their best behavior.
So they were being sweet to you.
That everybody was sweet to me.
I just went back with her.
I just said earlier, whew, they was nicer to me than some of these are out here.
But we just went to visit some of the women at her prison last week.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
And
They missed you.
they did. When we walked in, they all flooded us.
Well,
and was hugging
there was
her.
a lady there, a friend of mine. She was 70. She is 77 years old.
Okay.
So she's been in prison for 10 years and never had a visit. So I had said, when I get out, if I get a pardon, because I knew I couldn't come back if I just got out of prison. But I said, if I get this pardon, I'm going to come see you. I promise you. And so I made, I wanted to come back and see her. So she got her first visit in 10 years.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
The men's prison runs obviously very different than women because men, they are going to make their shit happen. To where women, she's there in this prison and no one had phones.
No.
Where I was, it was AT&T.
They did.
Y'all, they were sneaking phones in where you were.
I had staff bringing mine in.
There was like 2 phones.
You
I
gotta
never
get
saw.
people in trouble. You know that, right?
Because I don't tell on them.
You said you had staff, but they're gonna start narrowing down who that was.
Do you understand how corrupt the BOP is?
Yes, I do.
So if we got 100 staff members, 98 of them's corrupt. Y'all figure out which one of those 98 was doing it.
Yeah, it was different. It was a different.
They did my
Very much
Walmart
different.
run once a month.
I can't.
Yeah.
Did my
You
Walmart
gotta
run.
get
I'm over there. I never had 1 ounce of outside food.
I
never saw a cell phone, never talked on a cell
I did.
phone. This one over here, a whole nother
You was
situation.
over here being out of pocket.
Yeah.
Now when
She was pulling pockets. I was out of pocket.
Shut up,
You are
Todd.
hilarious. So I when at 15 years old, like one of my relatives that's like a brother to me, he went into prison for a long time. So I've been visiting prison since I was 15. So
Right.
going every time I'm on tour, I stop at the prison just so I go see. I've been to multiple prisons across the country,
Right.
just to visit family and close friends.
Right.
So I know a lot of guys that was getting phones in there, texting, doing all that stuff. And your ass was in there, and now you over here telling, and they're gonna get the people in trouble.
No. And first of all, I closed my camp down.
Oh,
yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closing September the 5th. I'm actually going back August the 14th to speak at the last graduating class for RDAP there.
What?
I had 19 people escorted out of there for racial disparity, for not giving kids of color the ability to get their GED, not putting them in refusal status for their FSA qualifications, which reduces their prison time. So I outed all that.
What I will say is that even though I know there was a horrible situation y'all had to go through, everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And
Amen.
It's a wonderful thing that you are making it a true purpose for you to go back and help people that you met while you were there.
Because these are, I view these men almost as like brothers that I just wasn't raised with. That it's almost like a reunion of, because all of these men are not bad people. They made bad choices.
Right.
And some of them are there for making no choice at all.
Right.
So when you start looking at,
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I have this new show coming out. It's called The Todd Father. All of the younger kids, the staff would bring to me. And I would tell them, we're going to the barbershop.
What happened to you on day one?
Yeah.
I went in, I went to the laundry and picked up my uniforms, came in to my pod, and then I had all of my stuff was already laying on my bed. My sweats, my tennis shoes, all
And now
that stuff.
keep in mind, that's stuff that you have to buy in the commissary.
So you had some you had people in there.
When I got there, this guy, he comes to my room. His name was Jig. And he had the full grill
And
in.
keep in mind, you read, or we did. We tried not to read too much, but like real prison is like, you don't take anything from anybody because they're gonna want something in return,
Right?
And I mean, they trade ass for honey buns. So I mean, you couldn't get me for a honey bun. No, it was a case of Coke.
What can they get you for?
Had to be soda and a honey bun.
Yeah, so he had all his stuff when he got there. So tell him about Jig. He was there.
Jig comes walking in, and Jig's about 5 feet tall, 5'5", and just jacked.
Built,
yes.
yeah.
And he goes, "Mr. Chrisley, you got everything you need?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes,
Yes, sir.
He goes, "You got all your stuff?" And I said, "Did you bring that?" And he goes, because again, all we knew was don't take from me anything from anyone. And he goes, "Yes." I said, "But I'm good." I says, "I can buy my own stuff." He said, "That was taken care of you. That didn't come from me. That was taken care of for you."
Oh.
Men, and I'm basing this off of just mine and her experience. Our prison ran different.
Okay.
Now, we had a shitty ass warden who was just literally, she was just the sorriest piece of garbage by the way that she treated these men. Now, she did not come at me sideways like that because I read her every time she tried that. And so I didn't have that.
You do realize that's your privilege, though.
Exactly.
You do understand that,
I
right?
told that in an interview. I said,
Yes.
"Let me explain this to you." When I say that she called me up there to her office, and my first interaction with her was, and she was this short, very thin black lady, and she came as the warden there after I'd been there for about maybe 8 months, 9 months, and I passed her on the sidewalk and I didn't speak. Well, I don't know who you are. Why? I don't owe you that. And so
Privilege.
I go right on about my business. And so she calls me up to the office, and her biggest thing was, she said, I passed you on the sidewalk. She says, and you didn't even acknowledge my Gucci belt. And I looked at her and I said, because it wasn't real. And she said, "Excuse me?" I said, "That was Fucci. That wasn't Gucci." And so
You were able to do that because she was a fan.
100%. And so the SIS guy was sitting in the room with us when I said this. And I said,
He's like the police with him in jail.
And so I told her, I said, "But you do have on 0 grands. And she goes, "Yes, I have like 20 pairs." So then I know at this point, you're just trying to suck up. So then, but she hated her own race. She talked to these young black men like they were garbage. She would go in and tear their room apart. She would take their underwear,
Their phones.
Well, they got phones, but that didn't stop us. I mean, you take one phone today, there was 12 more coming in that afternoon. You're not stopping that.
Yeah, but sometimes people can get extra time for that.
41 days is what you're getting.
You're losing 41
You're losing 41
good days.
days. You take 41 good days.
I ain't losing a day.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, well, sometimes you got to risk it to get the biscuit. But at any rate, she just was not a good person, and she has since been removed from her position. But you talk about privilege. My room wasn't being torn apart. But if it was a room of Hispanic or African American, those rooms are being trashed every day. Every day. Because you're supposed to have team meetings, once a month. You're supposed to be able to go in there and talk to your counselors on certain days of the week. I never had an appointment. I walked straight in. But if you were of color,
Privilege.
but 100%,
Like,
but
right.
if you were
Absolutely.
of color, that line could be lined for around this block.
So that's what did you learn? Is that where you really saw the difference of, privilege? When
Yes,
you were there?
because I had never been around that. I had never been around seeing anyone treated poorly, because of their color, because that was not the group that I was in. It was not what the company we traveled in. And I mean, and our friend group is so diverse that no one ever treated anyone that way.
And I'm just, I'm your friend. I'm just going to
Yes.
say this. You guys are wealthy as well. So I think the level of what you may see at the status that you're in, so you're coming across other people, even when you come across people of color, a lot of times they're, can move in your circles as well.
Right.
So, and not to say that they're not in situations where they get discriminated against, it's not going to happen as much as you see people who
So true.
are
Right about
not
say it.
Yeah.
of status or who do not have the financial level that you guys are normally in.
I have
so
said
when
that.
when you got brought to that prison, you got brought down to
Well,
the level
Todd
that's
has
seeing
said-
that type of discrimination all the time.
Yes.
So
It was-
Todd has
it was the
said
norm.
That one of the only positive things about prison is that it's an
the greatest.
equalizer.
It's the greatest equalization that you have in the country, because you have the same spending limit. Well, I mean, if you abide by the rules, you have the same spending limit, which is $360 a month. You wear the same clothes. You are supposed to eat in the chow hall. I never ate one meal in the chow hall. And so everyone's supposed to be equal, and everyone is, as far as that part of it goes. But when it comes to the treatment of people,
Right.
that is from one continent to the other different.
Yeah.
And when I started witnessing this, I said, because this is Chloe.
Right.
I'm now this is my daughter. So no, I'm not doing this. So I started figuring out their calculations, because a lot of these young men in there don't have the education to understand how to calculate their time correctly, how much they get off at the front, which is 15%, and then if they are programming and are FSA qualified, then they can get up to 48% off of their sentence. But you have to understand this and know how to do it. And the BOP talks about, we want to lower the recidivism rate. We want to help these young men and women to go out into the community to become good neighbors. But no, they don't.
No.
Once you go in that system, they're content in keeping you in that system. And you know yourself, Kandi, because you've experienced racism in your life. You know yourself that if they can get one leg up on you, the next one's going on your neck. And so I watched that. And so, like they called me Thug-a-Hug. Because all of these young kids would come to the chapel, because I'd make them come to church. And I said, if you want me to help you with your FSA, then you got to come to church. So they said I was running a Thug-a-Hug program.
Well, I think people had this preconceived notion that, okay, Todd's coming in. He's a white man, white collar crime. He's going to stick to his own. When you get in there.
That just didn't happen.
And it was the complete opposite. It was just, that's not who his people were. He had those people, but they were not his
obviously
people.
who don't really pay attention to who you are. I mean,
Right.
I know me and you, before you got in that mess, we would sometimes talk about some of the people you used to have to go off on because they were saying things about your daughter that, that you're raising, Chloe.
Yeah.
And that's what made me love you more, because you would go all the way in on anybody who had anything to say about you loving your daughter and uplifting her.
Yes.
So,
I look at it, that's a child.
But not just a child, she's my child.
Right.
Which makes it even more.
But that is a child of God.
yeah.
And we're all children of God. So if I hurt you, I'm spitting in God's face because I'm hurting one of his own.
Yeah.
We don't all have to do the same thing, eat the same foods, dress the same way. None of those things change that we're a child of God.
Right.
And so I had so many of these young kids. I mean, Kandi, so many of these young kids, they don't have families that can put money on their books.
Right.
And, you know,
that's tough.
And so you're wondering why they're trying to smuggle cigarettes into sale, or you're wondering why they're trying to get a phone brought in so that they can sell that phone and make $100. You know, when you change that disparity, and, you know, it's almost like that when the tide goes out, the boats, they get stuck on shore. But when the tide rises, all of the boats rise at the same time. So if we as a people, as a country, could ever get to a place to where the tide lifts everyone, then we live in a wonderful world.
Yeah.
And that's not what the Bureau of Prisons is set up for. They're there to punish you, but that's not what the Bureau of Prisons is for. Your punishment is the time that judge hands down that sentence. That is your punishment. You're not to be abused once you go into incarceration.
Well, I think a lot of them, the people that work there, they need to get their memo.
Well, let me explain to you right now. I'm working with the Bureau of Prisons right now. Every day I work with the Director William Marshall and the Deputy Director Josh Smith. Every day I'm on the phone with them. And I'm outing corruption every day. I am sending them information that I'm getting on other staff members, that this is what they did to this kid here. Kandi, when I tell you I'm busier today than I have ever been, all because I now know what my purpose is. Television was not my purpose. It's something that I do, but it was not something that fulfilled me to the level that I'm fulfilled today.
Right.
So when you give a kid who's reconciled in his mind, whose parents are a lot of them are now not in their lives and haven't been since they were children, you sit there and you see the hope.
Yeah, you got to
come back in their life
and information.
Yes, and education is power.
Yeah,
and I've said that to our children their whole life. I said, people can take physical things from you, but they cannot take what you learn.
Right.
And watching these young kids come in there, I mean, I made them go and shave their beards. I said, if you're going to keep it, you're going to keep it on number 2. You're not going to have that shit hanging down. We're not going to be doing no tattoos up in here. I said, you've got enough already. I said, when you get out, you need to get some of that shit off. I said, you're going to call your mother. I says, if not every day, you're going to call her every other day. You're going to be in that chapel. You're going to learn the Word of God. And I says, and in exchange for that, you're going to learn that Todd can help you. And that's what I did. And it's what I continue to do. Since I have been home May the 28th, 19 people have come home.
Wow.
19 of those kids have come home. I had one moved from Pensacola to Kentucky so that Julie and I can go and visit him because he's got a longer sentence. So it's, how long?
We've already been to see him one time.
Yeah, and so that's what, 4.5 hours, 5.5 hours?
Yeah.
4.5, 5 hours from us. So we drive up, we've gone our first time now, and I will go see him once a month.
That means a lot, though, because you're changing a lot for him.
Yes,
you know what
that's
I mean?
right.
Just to be able to have support, people coming to visit you, you're going to make the time go a little bit faster for him.
Yes,
and I have set it up now with our accountants that I'm setting up a program that will help these young kids with their commissary.
Yeah.
Because that means something. It means something when a kid can go and get the things, just the bare essentials of what they need.
Yeah.
It's degrading for a young man to have to constantly go to another man and ask, can I get a pack of tuna fish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it puts him in a situation where he has to compromise himself sometimes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I want to limit I can't do it all, but I can do what I can do.
Yeah.
And if I do what I can do, that's the best that I can do, and that's all that can be expected of me. But because I know so many people, if we can adopt kids from another continent and send in $8 and something a month, we can send in $8 a month to a kid here in prison.
Yeah.
We can do those things.
Yeah.
And so, we live in the wealthiest nation on earth, but yet our people suffer as if we're a third world country.
True.
If you are going to, and listen, it's not going to be a political conversation. I don't want it to be. But if you look at, you've got kids in here, a prime example, there was a kid there with me white. Mm-hmm. He was caught for marijuana. Mm-hmm. And another one of my kids from Memphis, of color, was caught for the exact same amount. The exact same amount. The kid from Memphis got 120 months. My white kid got 28 months.
Damn.
So he was charged in Pensacola. This kid was charged in Memphis. Mm. How are we as a country not seeing sentence disparity?
I mean, it's obvious though.
And when you look at, right now there's approximately 1.4 million pending cases of PPP fraud.
Oh.
1.4 million cases that are there to be tried right now.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
The prison system can't hold 1.4 million people.
No.
It's not built for that.
No.
But do you know the majority of those loans, what the color of the skin is that's pending?
Well, a lot of them is black people.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, when I left prison, there was a mother in there, African-American black woman in her 70s that had just gotten sentenced. Before I left, her daughter came in. Dang. So her mother and her daughter, and that's what it was from.
And you want to sit
from the PPP loans.
From the PPP. Oh, God.
I told you. And it is one of the saddest things that it infuriates me when I hear on television.
Does that considered to be white collar crime?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's white collar crime, but it's a lot of black collars that's getting charged with.
Yeah, because
but just because, but not every person in prison is for a white collar crime, even at a camp, and that's what people don't realize.
I know guys that was in the camp.
I remember, I'll never forget one of my attorneys. After we were sentenced, we went upstairs or found guilty. Before we ever sentenced, we had to go upstairs and get our ankle monitor on. And I remember he came out there and he said, "Miss Chrisley, it's going to be okay. You're going to a camp. It's people just like you. You're going to a camp."
I'm grateful that my people were not like me.
Me too. And I think back that, and at first when I got to the camp, I was like, okay, these people are not like me. But the longer I was there, the more I was like,
how much you had in common with these people?
These people are just like me.
Yeah.
Just like me. And most of them were in there for dealing drugs. Most of them were in there. That was the majority of the women at my camp were dealing drugs. They had been behind the fence in real prison and had worked their way to a camp. But at the end of the day, yeah, we were all the same.
I think that...
I'm so glad y'all went to jail.
But listen, I said this the other day, when we were talking, and I looked at Julie and I said, I don't want this to come across in a bad way.
What?
But I said, I would not trade these 28 months. I said, because God placed me in the belly of the beast. Mm-hmm. And without being in the belly of the beast, I would have never known what's going on in our country.
Because if it doesn't affect you,
it doesn't affect you, and you don't care.
Think about it. Mm-hmm. I never knew anybody. I never had known anybody that had even been to prison. If it just doesn't affect you, you don't think about it. I didn't think about it every day. They're sitting in there, and there's people that don't get money. That their family either can't afford it, or they, the bridges have been burned.
Calls.
Right. You don't think about that. There's people in there that are not going to see their kids grow up. There's people. I mean, it's just you don't think about it until you become a part of it.
Mm. And I will say that in working with the director Marshall and the deputy director Josh Smith, that for the first time, because I was there for 28 months, I know how this BOP runs. Mm-hmm. It's some of the lowest educated people working for the BOP, some of the least motivated, lazy as hell, beating the system every day. What they steal from the federal taxpayers and the federal government every day as a correctional officer, mm-hmm. people are in prison doing time for less than what the hell those people have done. Mm. But going back to what we were talking about, one of the things that really irks me today is that we have all of these people saying that, let's get past slavery. Let's get past racism. Let's do this. Let's do that. we could get past it if it wasn't still prevalent.
Yeah, I don't like when people try to erase history.
Well, and my thing is that you're not erasing it because it's still happening.
Yeah.
Do you understand that the 13th Amendment of the Constitution has been abolished there's only one act that still keeps it the 13th Amendment? Do you know what that is?
Tell us.
It is the only time that you can still have slave labor is in prison from incarcerated individuals.
Oh, no, I didn't realize that.
Yes. It's the only thing left. The only way you can have slave labor in this country now is through the prison system. Now, when you get rid of that, you get rid of some of the abuse. Stop saying that there's no such thing as racism when my daughter comes home from a private school and is crying because someone has made fun of her hair and that she can't be a mermaid in a play because she doesn't, or unicorn because she doesn't have the right hair. So don't tell me that stuff doesn't exist. Don't tell me it doesn't exist when I've got a black kid here that's 24 years old that's begging you to explain to him, sir, tell me what I need to do to shorten my sentence. Get out of my office. Did I tell you to come in here? Read the notice.
Lord.
And you say that racism's dead. When I walk up and open the door and say, Mamela, I need to talk to you. Come on in. How is it dead?
No, racism is definitely
alive and well.
It's definitely alive.
You got these fuckers out here throwing rocks and hiding hands? No. I'm going to call you out.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you out. I'm going to put you on YouTube. I'm going to put you on this podcast. I'm going to put you on television. I'm calling your names.
Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in now.
It is. But tell us what is next for Kandi.
Oh, y'all done made it so heavy, and now y'all want to talk about
we'll make it lighter. I'm going to get you to donate to my fund.
We got to lighten this up.
Y'all, I love the fact that y'all white and y'all going so hard against racism. I'm like, I'm black, and I've been dealing with racism since I was little.
And I told that to Chloe the other day. We were talking, and I said, she said something, and I said, Chloe, but honey, you need to understand that your mother is black. And I said,
your biological mother.
Yeah, I said, your biological mother is black. I said, so you need to understand that just because you're not experiencing this right now doesn't mean that another child of color isn't experiencing it.
Yeah.
I said, your zip code changes how you're treated.
For sure.
And I said, but you need to understand, when you're 16, 17 years old riding around in that Range Rover and they pull you over, they're radioing in a 16-year-old black girl. And so I have to tell her that every day, and I don't want to have to tell her that.
Yeah.
I never wanted to have to raise her that way. But I now know that if I don't, she's going to be a statistic.
It's very unfortunate, especially when she moves out on her own. She's going to experience it at some point.
Yeah. Yes.
It's inevitable. But, it's really heavy.
Well, then lighten it up for us. I mean, tell us something about all the, things that you've got going on. Like, tell me about your what is the product that you have that I want you to send to my mother?
Bedroom candy.
Bedroom candy.
I'm so mad. I'm in to bring you a gift bag today.
I told my mom, I said, I'm going to have you on Kandi's on her podcast. I said, you can talk about bedroom candy. And she goes, what is that?
Oh, I'm going to hook your mama up.
I said, Mama, it's just going to change your life. It'll make your teeth chatter.
Hey, listen, Ma and Nora said that, it's really for them. My mom says it too, for women of a mature age. Because you got to think, a lot of men, once they get to a certain age, they can't get it up.
Like packing bubble gum.
Yeah, so they need, bedroom candy is needed for all age groups, especially the seniors.
And that'll cut down all the STDs, because the STDs, the highest age group is seniors.
Crazy, right?
And they won't talk about us being hoes.
It's because these old men getting that blue pill and they're around here trying to put that thing in everything.
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 But that's all right. You're going to stop some of that. You're going to stop some of that with bedroom candy.
So bedroom candy is doing really great. We have, now you can get it everywhere. You can get it on Amazon now. It's so funny. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because when it first started, you had to have a representative, you had people that sold it.
We still have the representatives. We have representatives across the country.
Because you was running this like Avon, but Dick's.
Yeah. But now we have more products now.
Right.
We have bath and body products. So now we kind of put that under the Kandi Coated Cosmetics umbrella.
Right.
Because, if you say bedroom candy, they automatically think it's a toy.
Right.
Right.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right. As long as you got power.
Yes. I mean, and it's rechargeable.
There you go. Pay your power bill.
But it's doing really good. I mean, at this point now, we've been going for 12 years? It's
Long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to what we started out with, is just about everything you do has longevity to it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
Yes.
I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but yeah. And then we still have our Old Lady Gang restaurant on Camp Creek.
Right.
It's doing good.
I know. I had to tell you a quick story about that.
What?
So it was literally during our trial. And I made Todd go by there because I wanted to go eat there. And we were at our trial. We were during the trial because we were in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right.
But y'all it wasn't open. Whatever the time
She was so
we
mad.
went by there and you weren't open. But he's like, Julie, we can't. I don't know. We don't need to be going in there. I was like,
We would've
I want
loved
to go
to have
eat here. That might have been my last meal.
Oh my goodness.
Well, according to you, it was your last street meal.
Yeah, it
my
would have
goodness.
been.
Poor baby. But and then I have some more Broadway productions coming, but I can't talk about them
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure they were
I
knocking your door down.
I will be at
Got
this
some great
one.
ones coming.
When
I'm
these
excited.
come, I will be there.
You gonna come?
Yes, we will be there. It's a
excited to
date.
have
It's a
you.
date. It's a date.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for just being a friend. Thank
Just
you
being
for
you.
yes, everything. So we appreciate it.
Well, I love y'all.
Yes,
I
we
love you.
And I was just joking about I'm glad you went to jail, but I'm glad that greatness has come from.
Well, it wasn't in vain.
No.
Yeah, it
You
wasn't
know
in
what?
vain.
No matter how bad situations are, if you learn something from them, if you're better because of it.
Listen, as I said, we would not know what other people have to endure had we not endured it.
Yep.
Right.
And how can you ever have someone effectuate change who hasn't experienced it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, so many good things have come from this. I mean, Savannah's going to run for public office now. Now, it's not something that we would want, but I think she's so just numb to
horrible.
other
Sounds
people's
horrible,
opinions
doesn't
now.
it?
Yeah, and she should be.
And so she is such a warrior, and she fought long and hard to get us here on this sofa right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, she didn't stop. She knew that our trial was corrupted. She knew that the prosecutors were corrupt. And we just got word last week that they're being investigated now.
Oh, wow.
And those prosecutors they're no longer with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Oh, wow.
And they're also,
Is it because of your situation or other stuff that they've done?
I think it was
but-
ours, but I think ours led to other things.
And then finding out about other
Yeah,
things they did.
and then the key witness in our case, they have placed him under federal investigation now as well. So I think that God has used us in a way that is going to bless so many people. Thank you so much. I love you, and I hope you'll come back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you too.